Flosstube. I hope everyone is having a great week and had a lovely holiday season. I have a few updates to share today. Today is January 11th, it's a Tuesday, and I wanted to come on and kind of introduce the next couple of clips for this video. This will be a little bit of a non-traditional video. I mentioned it in my last update that I might be doing some just kind of more informal updates throughout my holiday time off. We were in South Carolina for over 2 weeks, and so my stitching time has been very unorganized and not like normal. So I just kind of filmed some stuff as I had time. It's not a lot. I think it's just like two things, but I did have a lot of requests to show my cross stitch wall, and so I'm gonna go ahead and open the video by sharing that with you all, and then I'll have a couple of clips from throughout the last couple of weeks, and then at the very end I'm going to talk about my WIPGO plans because numbers were drawn since we last spoke, and I will show you what I plan to do for that. And that'll be it for this video, but what you can expect hopefully over this coming weekend is a WIP parade. I want to go ahead and film one so I have a good idea what I have going before hopefully I start finishing things for 90 days of no new starts. So yeah, that is kind of what you can expect from this video and from the next week. I hope you enjoyed these random clips. I get to show some cross stitch from my grandmother in one of them, which is really special, so I hope you all enjoy. And I'm going to pan over now. Actually, I'm going to end this clip and then I'll show you the cross stitch wall. Okay, so we are in my bedroom and this is a wall of cross stitch. I will talk a little bit about it here as a big overview, and then I'll zoom in on different projects and give you as much information as I can about them. So yeah, this is just kind of how I ended up decorating this wall. When we first moved here, I had fewer on this wall. I've added since we moved here in August of 2020, and yeah, it's been fun to watch it grow, and I hope it keeps growing in our next house too. I don't know if I'll be able to add any before we leave here in May, but this is how it stands as of now. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in a second, but we're gonna start in the center with the piece that's not in a hoop. That's kind of the anchor for the wall, and then keep talking about it. I really enjoy seeing, all these pieces are very different, but I really enjoy seeing all of them together, and even though they don't really go together cohesively, it makes me really happy. So here we go. This piece is Pretty Little Hong Kong by Satsuma Street. There's a lot of natural light in this room right now, so the colors are gonna wash out a little bit. But this is on the called for 14 count oatmeal Aida and all the called for colors. I stitched this for my husband when he was just my boyfriend. He was leaving to teach English in China for a year, and he had been to Hong Kong before, and so I stitched this for him. And then when he was done teaching English, I was able to visit him, and we traveled around for a month and went to Hong Kong, and it was super cool, like looking out at the skyline and seeing all these things that I had stitched before. So that is kind of the anchor piece here in the middle. This piece is from Top Knot Stitcher Shop. I did it for our wedding. It is kind of a nod to Tangled, which is my favorite movie, and yeah, it has our wedding date and our initials, and I did it in the called for colors, but I used natural sparkly linen instead of white Aida. This is a quirky Quaker from Darling and Whimsy Designs. It is a puffin, and I used a variegated floss, so it's a party puffin. Same fabric as the Top Knot Stitcher. Moving down, this is Momo from Avatar: The Last Airbender, dancing in the Earth Kingdom, if you get that reference. I do not remember the shop name, and I'm not sure if they're still on Etsy, but it was an Etsy pattern. This piece is also from Satsuma Street. It was a Be Well and Stitch freebie. I used the called for colors, and I used, I think it's lilac from Witchilt. I'm not sure. It was a scrap, but I finished it with pom-poms, and I love it. So I should have said when I showed the Top Knot Stitcher piece up there that I stitched 4 things for our wedding to display at our reception. That was one of them, and so was this. Our guest book was the adventure book from Up, if you get that reference. It was a scrapbook I had started for my husband when we were dating, and then we used it as our guest book for our wedding. And so I stitched this piece from Etsy, and I don't think it's still on Etsy anymore, but I used 18 count Fiddler's Ada. This piece, it was also a wedding piece. One of the reasons I started this cross stitch wall was because I had so many hoops from our wedding to display. But this is a quote from Parks and Recreation. I love you and I like you. This, again, I'm sorry, this pattern was not a pattern. It was someone selling a finished stitch. And I asked if they would sell me the pattern, and they did. So if you're able to find a similar one on Etsy, go ahead and reach out to the seller. They might be willing to sell you the pattern. But yeah, the seller didn't offer the pattern in their shop. You cannot tell, but I used a variegated floss that's like light blue to white. And then it's on Picture This Plus Mystic in an even weave. This is a freebie from Hello from Liz Matthews in her newsletter. It was the Hope Celebration Small. This is Picture This Plus Fog Ada and a DMC variegated. I know the number is on my Instagram, but I don't know it off the top of my head. So I really enjoy the variegation on that one. This is from Wild Violet Cross Stitch, a sweet little ghost cat. I think she named her Beverly. It was called for in ecru, but I did it in Etoile ecru. I'm not sure if you can tell. And this was a fabric of the month that I got from someone's D-stash, and I don't know much about it. This is Appa from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think this pattern is still available if you search Appa cross stitch. But it says yip yip, which is how you make Appa fly. He's a flying bison, and he is so cute. This is on 18 count Ada as well, and was originally a gift for my husband, who is then my boyfriend. Going up, this is another, or the last of the wedding stitches. It's Let the Adventure Begin. Oh, I forget the designer. If you're interested, message me on Instagram, but I didn't do the called for colors because I stitched this during lockdown. I just used what I had with me at the time because I was staying with my now husband. And it was a super fun wedding stitch. We love to travel, and yeah, super appropriate. Then last, but definitely not least, is Round Robin from Doreen Jones. This was available in several cross-stitch magazines. I think an edition of a certain cross-stitch magazine and then in a Doreen Jones specific one. I'm not sure, but it's also available on her Etsy shop. If you need the exact magazine, let me know. I was inspired by Evelyn Across the Pond to stitch this one, and now it is like my favorite stitch I've ever done. So I finished it according to the magazine's model, which was a white painted hoop with pom-poms. And yeah, that is my whole cross stitch wall. I love looking at it. It's right by our window and our plants, and yeah, I hope that was interesting for everyone to see, and thanks everyone for requesting to see it. See you in the next clip. Hi Flosstube, I am getting ready to leave tomorrow to go home for Christmas, and I am in the process of packing and deciding which projects I'm going to take home with me. And I have a lot laid out here, and I'm not going to take all of these, I don't think. But I just wanted to kind of talk you through this process and take you along with me as I went through this packing process. I always think it's interesting to see people's thought processes for stuff like this. And yeah, I'm gonna also share with you a new start. So this is called Stitching Heaven. It is from the Cross Stitcher March 2021 magazine. It is a design by Doreen Jones, and this is the cover photo. I started this last night because I wanted to have it started before my 90 days of no new starts, and I wanted a non-Christmas project to take with me. I mean, I definitely already have some started, but I wanted to work on this during 90 days of no new starts, and so I started this last night, and here is my little tiny start. This is just like one bolt of fabric up here and then part of this green banner. So that's where we are at. It's just stitched on a 28 count white even weave. I got this needle minder off of Stash Unloading, and I'm super in love with it. It is like a repurposed Disney pin that someone like drilled the back off of and then put a magnet on. And it's Mickey head, and then the design on it is the costume the cast members that work at the Tower of Terror wear, and I just think that's super cute. I do have a collection of some Disney trading pins, and I do have several of these kind of cast member costume ones, so I snagged that one on Stash Unload. All of my floss is kept here in this Floss Buddy from Bags Plus. It has this amazing cat and library pattern on the back, and I do have some I have 2 empty rows here that I could stick just like ends in and stuff. But yeah, I have 2 missing ones I need to go through. They're in other projects. I just need to go through those other projects and grab them before we leave. This is Santa Claus is Coming to Town by Stitch Rovia. Let me see if I can pull up the cover photo for you. Here's the cover photo for that one. I have been working on this one as we watch Christmas movies and whatnot, and I thought I was going to take this with me, but I think I might not because I want to start my stocking while I'm home to have that before 90 days of no new starts, and yeah, and the fabric for that is being sent to my mom's house where we're going, and so here's the stocking I'm going to be starting. I don't have the fabric with me, so I can't show you that, but I ordered a few options and we'll see which one I go with. But yeah, so I think I might not take this one, so I can, if I want to do anything Christmassy related, I can just focus on this start. And I know I won't have that much stitching time while I'm there, so I just want to make sure my stocking gets some work in it before the new year. So that's one last look at that project for a while, probably. I'm going to put it in this bag I was so lovingly gifted from Barbara Johns at Stitchin' with Grammy. I have a Q-snap ready to go because I'm going to take this project in a Q-snap, and I got this like very well situated. It's like right at the margin, and so I don't want to take it out. So I'm going to take this one to start the stocking in, and all of my stocking stuff is kitted up in this Barbara Johns bag. This is a new accessory she is coming out with. Hopefully she's already talked about that in her video, but all the floss is in there, is ready to go. It just needs fabric and a start, and so I might switch up that grime guard, but that I'm definitely taking that one. And then the last project I wanted to talk about was my Away in a Manger by Doreen Jones. I started this shepherd over Thanksgiving, and then I haven't worked on it since. Let me see if I can find a cover photo for that one for you as well. I am going to take this one to work on in the car, or kind of if we're having like family time and it's people are talking and I don't want to be counting or thinking too hard. I think this will be a great one to take. Plus it was one of my December goals to finish the shepherd. And then after the shepherd's done, I'll just have 2 wise men left. Here is the cover photo. So this is the shepherd that I'm working on. And then I have done everyone else in this scene. I've done this wise man, and then the chart has 2 other wise men charted. It's just not shown here in the cover photo, and I'll hopefully do those during the first 90 days of the new year, and then yeah, and this will be done. So I do really enjoy working on it. It's a lot of blocks of color and then backstitch, so I really enjoy that process. And this is in a Dot Dot Goose design project bag, and it has a bendy flip in there too. So yeah, that is kind of how packing is going. I think it's going to be, these 3 things are going with me. I have a big like Vera Bradley tote. I'm going to put them all in. I know this is a lot to pack. We are going to be gone for 2 weeks, so I wanted to have some options, but not too many that there were too many options. I never worked on anything. So yeah, I hope to keep making some more video clips throughout the 2 weeks that we are, you know, kind of away from our normal life, and then kind of stick them all together and do an update video. And then once I get back properly. I want to do a whip parade to start off the year, and then I can use that to compare with how many whips I hopefully get done during 90 days of no new starts. So yeah, have a great day. Bye. Hi Flosstube. Today is Wednesday, January 5th, and I have not updated in quite a while. I haven't really had too much to update on since my last clip that I filmed where I think I was packing for this trip. We are still in South Carolina as of the filming of this clip, but we're going to be heading back to Maryland on Sunday. And I haven't gotten as much stitching done as I thought I would, which always happens. But I wanted to show you what I did get done. So this is the shepherd from the Doreen Jones Away in the Manger series that I've shown multiple times on my channel. It is a series that I'm working on until it's done. I tried to do one little guy a month for a while there, but I kind of fell off that wagon. But now, as of finishing this shepherd, I only have 2 more Wiseman to do, and then I'll be done. So I'm hoping that my 90 days of no new starts will let that happen. I worked on this some at my in-laws' house, and I finished up all the stitching, and then I reached into my bag to find my 310 to do the back stitching, and it wasn't there. I don't know what happened to it. I could have sworn I chucked it in the bag, but I guess I did not. So luckily we were able to pick some up along the way. But there was a while there where the shepherd was waiting for his back stitch, but I just finished it today. The next thing I want to talk about is, this is some fabric for my Doreen Jones stocking that I believe I showed in the last clip. It has a Santa Claus on it, and I've been really kind of waffling on the fabric, and I had sent what I think was 3 pieces of fabric. Yeah, it was going to be 3 different packages with fabric in it here to my mom's house, and something has gone very wrong with the mail. So all 3 of them said delivered, and none of them were delivered when we got here, and they should have been had been delivered for several days. So I don't know what exactly happened with those. One did eventually show up, but I ordered it from a seller on Etsy, and she accidentally just sent me the wrong one. But she was super nice and sent me the right one eventually. And so now I have this one, but I wanted to compare this Witchelt Cafe Mocha to, I think it was Witchelt Lamb's Wool Jobelin, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do 14 count or 28 count. And I wasn't sure which color would look best with the B5200. And there were 2 colors that I felt fine buying both of, because I figured I would use them. But yeah, I only have this one so far, and I was going to try and eke in that stocking start before the 90 days of no new starts. But since this is the only one I have, or the only fabric I have to compare now, I'm thinking I'm going to wait and have the stocking start be my reward start for after the 90 days of no new starts, because now it's several days into the challenge, and I could start it on this fabric. I do like it, and I think it would work well. But I did go ahead and find a good price on Lamb's Wool Jobelin on the Stony Creek website. And so I just went ahead and ordered that to get sent to Maryland. And when I get back, I'll compare the 2, and maybe I'll be bad and start it before the 90 days is over. But I'm not 100% sure yet, because I did plan to start this before the 90 days started, to have it for that chunk of time, but that didn't exactly work out. So we'll see what happens there. The next thing I want to show is a cross stitch my grandmother did in June of 1982. I don't have the pattern with me, but I showed the pattern a few videos back in the stash acquisition section. I believe it's from Leisure Arts, and it's called All Through the House, and it has 2 cut through house charts in it. But my grandmother, who I didn't know very well because she passed early when I was 6 or 7, I do have some fond memories of her, but we never got to talk about cross stitching because I don't think she was doing it then, and I didn't know about it then. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to pan the camera up slowly as to not hopefully cause anyone to get sick. but I wanted to show her work. There's gonna be a little glare, sorry. But yeah, this is from the Leisure Arts all through the house, and there's, I think, a Victorian house and an early American house. I don't remember exactly, but there were 2 charts included, both with this style. So here's her signature, and you can see it was June 9th, 1982. I think that means she finished it on that date. There's the kitchen, a bedroom with a little balcony coming off, a bathroom, looks like a little girl's room with a kitty cat and a doll in a cradle. And go up and there's the roof. I always loved this attic. This cross stitch was hanging in my house for my whole life. And I always loved, even before I really knew what cross stitch was, just looking at all the rooms, I loved doll houses, so this kind of worked. Going down to the first floor, back to the kitchen, and there's like a parlor scene. I think that might be a gramophone, and another porch. And a lot of this outlining and like lattice work down here is all backstitch. Looking at it, I think it might be an 18 count. The stitches have pretty good coverage, and so that's what makes me think it might be an 18 count. But yeah, I just wanted to show that, and eventually I want to stitch the second house in that pamphlet, or that Leisure Arts leaflet, to have a hanging out on the wall here at my mom's house next to it, so she has both done. And it was like something I got to stitch with my grandmother, even though she has passed. So very detailed, very cute. And I'll try and post a nice picture of this without the glare on my Instagram page too. But that's about all the updates I have for now. I don't know how many more I will have. I do want to get some stitching done tonight, so maybe over the weekend before we leave I can film one more clip. And then when we get back to Maryland, I want to film my cross stitch wall, because in my last video there was a lot of interest in seeing that. So things to look forward to in the next clips, but you'll know better than me because you're watching this video. So I hope everyone is having a great time so far, and see you in the next clip. Hey guys, so this is going to be probably the last clip in this video. This is going to be a little bit of an overview of my WIPGO plans for this month. Here's my WIPGO board. The numbers that were called this month were number 2, which is a whip with words, and number 19, which is his name is Jesus. And so I wanted to film this clip before I got to work on these projects, and I wanted to show kind of a before image of where I was. Here is Prince of Peace. This is a free chart from Joyful Expressions Needlework that has all the names of Jesus on it. It is rather large. I worked on it a couple days before the holiday season really, and I really enjoyed it. I'm using all Victorian Motto sampler shops. Here are the colors I'm using. They came in a pack of blues, and I'm stitching on 28 count Pearl Gray Jobelin, I think. I keep it in this bag from Autumn Lane Stitchery in the Black Needle Society. I love it because it reminds me of the Legend of Korra a little bit, and I love this girl sitting and stitching, and I really want to get a frame like that one day, and yeah. So this will get 3 days. My WIPGO goals for all of my numbers are going to be 3 days. So I think I'm going to go ahead and work on this one first for 3 days. And then for the second number, which was number 2, and the prompt was a whip with words, I'd like to work on Maple Lane. I was going to work on a whip that was more focused on the words, but I figured maybe after his name is Jesus, which is only words and letters, I might be kind of tired of it. So, and I love Maple Lane so much, and I really want to get caught up. So this is what I have so far, and as you can see, there are words. And then in the next section right here is the trolley, and I know there's, I think, some backstitch words here, and then over here is a really cute flower shop. So I want to get some work on that. I don't know if 3 days will let me do the whole trolley, but I might just keep working on it till that part is done because I am behind. I'm using all the called for colors hanging out here on this floss ring, and yeah, that's kind of my WIPGO plans. I hope to stick to them. I was kind of torn between working on Maple Lane and my Liz Matthews piece that says your heart and my heart are very, very old friends, because that is all words, but sometimes I do get tired of doing just like straight up letters, and so I wanted to give myself options, and that could fit, the Liz Matthews piece could fit in some of my other prompts later on, and so yeah. We are gonna go with this stitch along so I don't let it languish for too long. I also need to catch up on Cozy Cafe, but we'll see what WIPGO maybe next month will help me catch up, or if I have time left over this month, I will try and catch up at least one drink on Cozy Cafe. I think I'm 3 drinks behind, but yeah. So that is gonna be the end of this kind of hodgepodge of videos. Thank you for sticking with it. I hope to have, like I said in the beginning, a WIP parade at the end of this week, posted hopefully Saturday maybe, that would be nice, maybe Friday, and then maybe I can show my progress on His Name is Jesus at that time, and go through all my WIPs, because I do have, here's my bullet journal, somewhere in here I have, oh yeah, this is my current WIP list, and I think I might need to add one. I think I forgot one. But these are my WIPs for starting 2022. I have another page here in case they expand, which I'm sure they will. Here's where I'm going to put a table for finishes, but I haven't had any finishes yet, so I don't need anything. And then here's my January spread. As you can see, I have not been able to stitch too much so far in January. We are right here. This is today, and I have not stitched in any of these days. So hopefully we fix that. My goals for this month were to do WIPGO and one more of my nativity figures from Away in a Manger by Doreen Jones. But that's all I've got today, so see ya in the next video. Bye.